Last time I built the portal to hell. This time we dive right into it. I made no mistakes last time. Everything went exactly as intended. Our inventory is looking pretty good. Wandering didn't have anything we wanted. Those Endermen are looking at me funny, but we don't look at them back. You can now turn down in the settings how much you wobble in the nether portal, which is very nice. You can also turn down the nausea effect. Instead, you just turn green. Alright, that's lava flowing. We're going to staunch that swiftly once I know exactly where it's flowing, where my portal isn't trapped. I'm wearing a gold helmet so the hoglins aren't angry. Though the soul sand does spawn skeletons, which is unfortunate, and this spawns with big pigs, which is unfortunate. Now we're gonna quickly screenshot my portal coordinates. You know what? I'll look at them as well. About 100, negative 150. About. Now we try to box in the lava so that our portal isn't trapped. Nice and easy. I do love the new ambient sounds of the nether. Before it was creepy, but not that creepy. Prefer not to do much in either of these biomes. Though right there looks like it's probably nether wastes, which used to just be the hell biome. First thing you should always do when you enter the nether is a quick look at your surroundings. That's how you notice things like lava generating in. If you're in multiplayer, if something generates in like lava, water, etc., that's actually a sign that nobody has been there before. Fresh generation. While if stuff like that has already flowed, you know that somebody else has already been there. I'm in a single player world, so there's never going to be a moment where somebody else has already generated things before me. 25 gold nuggets. Yeah, no, this is actually a pretty decent way to get gold. It's abundant, it's easy to get to. And despite the nether being dangerous, it is dangerous. Let's not undervalue certain threats there within. The biome itself is pretty tame in terms of its creatures. A single piece of gold armor turns piglins, hoglins, the boys, the golden attracted boys, into neutral mobs. Zombie pigmen are also neutral mobs. And they are a majority of the mobs in the nether. Other things you'll find in the nether, in these soul sand biomes, you'll find skeletons. Skeletons aren't abnormal with shields, you can avoid them. I heard a gas, that reminds me of another one of the dangerous mobs, but they can drop gas tiers, which are very valuable to us. Also, the fact that it's over this way also tells me that there's something in that direction. Now, those guys are terrifying. They're bulky, and they hit like trucks. I mean, look at how many arrows it took to kill that guy. Oh, they're in pork chops. I don't really need the pork. I'm doing alright on food. Skeletons are still just as dangerous as they usually are. And outside of fortresses, the only other mobs, I mean, magma cubes and those basalt biomes can be dangerous. The basalt biomes themselves being a major danger. Digging through walls in the nether is also a dangerous thing, so you want to keep some distance in case of individual lava pockets because they can spawn like that. The only reason I'm digging through this wall instead of walking around is because I heard the ghast in this direction, which would... Ghasts do require a large open area to spawn. So I'm hoping that there is just open space. But he could be up or down as well. So I could just be digging straight for a while. Here, I'll take a moment and just listen. Not hearing anything. Mob detection ranges are pretty normal. I believe zombified pigmen share the detection radius with zombies. That being said, it's not actually that big a deal. Okay, that's a big deal. How many of these guys to fight? Though I can get arrows off of these guys if they don't shatter my shield first. That's why I'm still trying to dodge. But they are spacing themselves pretty well. My shield is going to break at this rate, and they're taking turns with their shots. Serpentine. Mobs shoot. These mobs try to shoot directly at you. We get ourselves a golden apple and just tank some damage. Because we need to. With the golden apple's absorption, we were able to tank that quite well. And we got an extra bow. I'm going to go back to the overworld real quick because I need some iron to make a new shield. I was not expecting that brutal of an arrival. We do now know better what's there. I mean, I'll just store the extra bow for now. I don't really need it. Keeping some netherrack on me is good. We'll make a couple shields. Normally, I wouldn't be this prepared, but the nether is filled with projectiles and explosions. So, one of the big things to worry for is skeletons and blazes. Blazes, of course, have a projectile. All of their shots are projectiles, but something not to be overlooked. There are actually melee attacks by blazes. It's oftentimes overlooked, but at exactly point blank range, which they only use if you get close enough to them, blazes will actually melee attack you, and their melee attack does a lot of damage. And you can actually notice if somebody dies to melee attack versus random attack. I cannot go that way. That way is way too dangerous. There appears to be a little cave up there. I also don't need that water bucket with me. If you ever see somebody has been fireballed by a blaze, that means they died to the fireball attack. Nothing up here. If you see that they burnt to a crisp while fighting the blaze, they died to fire damage. But there's a third one. If it just says they were slain by a blaze, that means they actually died to its melee attack, which does a ton. I don't know. I didn't have a good exaggeration for that. It just does a lot of damage. And, I mean, you know how we feel about damage. We'd rather not take it. We didn't waste any health against those skeletons. We used the golden apple, and we got the absorption effect, used it appropriately. I hear angry squeals. I'm not sure if that's just normal or actual anger. I believe it is 72 for nuggets for a golden apple. So, do we have just enough to give ourselves another golden apple? So, we're back up to 2, sitting healthy. I can't charge through the soul sand area. I'm too slowed down, and I mean, skeletons are just deadly. These guys are just down here. While I possess the golden helmet, they are friends of mine. And they'll actually fight the giant pigs. Well, that's a little baby one. I'm just going to book it I know it's dangerous because of pits of lava. Oh, that's a lot of those guys. It's a pit of lava. Oh my gosh. Those guys do hurt. Alright, we're back over here. There's some more arrows. Those are good to pick up. Alright. As expected, that guy hurt. I also saw the ghast. And one ghast can give me a ghast tier. One ghast tier can give me regeneration potions. Which means it's now worth it to sprint through the soul sand with a reckless abandon for the chance of a ghast tier that I did not get. There's another ghast over that way, but there's more lava as well. Stay away from me, little monster. Another ghast up there. Now, ghasts are scary, but because their attack is reflectable, they're not that bad. Now, right now, I don't have any direct threats watching me. That skeleton will probably aggro, but I'll just try to keep on moving. I still have some absorption hearts. And now we are in Nether Wastes, a much safer biome for creature spawns. Now, we do still want to kill that ghast. Ghasts have very low HP, so they're not too bad to deal with. And you can deflect those. He's used a vanishing technique. Well, I mean, I'd rather he be gone than be a threat to me. But the Nether now is definitely more dangerous than it used to be. That's just true. Being able to barter is a pretty cool thing. I do enjoy that. I'm a bit of a merchant in a lot of games, so I enjoy anything to do with trading. But funnily enough, I actually disliked a lot of the changes to villager trading because they made villagers very powerful. I understand they tweaked it a lot. I thought those were golden helmets. Are those blazes or golden helmets? Those are golden helmets and golden boots. They're just shining a little bit. Might be enchanted. Those are blazes. Which would have been very convenient, but at the same time I don't have nether wart, so can't do anything with it. Open areas like this, good for gas. Gas aren't too dangerous. I mean, they're just dangerous enough to be a worthwhile threat, but I welcome them as a threat for their healing. I remember when Nether Quartz first came out. I believe that was around the same time the Wither first came out, because that was the Nether update, in a sense. And I believe that was 1.6, which is when they added all that stuff. And the Nether update was huge. It added chests to the... it added chests to the Nether fortresses, which I love, just adventuring, collecting loot from chests and such, instead of actually working for my loot, as you can tell by the fact that the one time I went mining, I left immediately. For different reasons, but you know, I didn't spend much time. It does look quite precarious. More soul fire to the right. And the nether wastes continue over here. I don't mind the nether wastes. This is the classic nether, the one I'm used to. And I don't believe anything untoward can spawn in this area. I'm not going to bring a pumpkin just in case, although I think you also have to use shears on pumpkins now to get them to not be a threat. Because endermen do spawn in the nether, especially in that one biome specially made for them. But I'm not too worried. I'm also going to not piss off the pigmen, because while yes, they are a great source of gold, they are not worth it. This is a fun place to stand. Nice pit to my But it was talking about 1.6 when they added quartz. It was actually really funny for me because I had been playing some modded Minecraft beforehand in 1.5, and there's a very popular mod that was called just Nether Ores. But here was the thing: when you mined a Nether ore in that mod, the pigmen would actually get angry at you. So when I first saw quartz everywhere, the first thing I asked in chat, because I was in some townie server that had just gotten updated, was, do the pigmen get angry? And the first response was, I have no clue, probably, which was terrifying to me. So I set up like a box and I was carefully mining it. And then I mined one right next to a pigman, and they were fine with it. So I was like, oh, all right, well, I'm safe. So, you know, it's your perspective gets warped by that kind of stuff. I saw that gassed as I opened up this menu. Keeping a constant supply of healing will be nice. Also, absorption hearts, as we know, are good for combat. I'm gonna keep getting this gold. And you know it might... Oh, these guys do not like it when you mine gold. Okay, so somebody does get angry. I didn't know those guys got angry when you mined gold. Well, I guess you know that I didn't know that, or else I wouldn't have been mining gold right in front of him. Well, we're going to make sure we're a little bit healthier, because we don't want to be within one-shotting range. Alright, well. We have enough to make another golden apple. I was going to say we might want to trade with him for the chance of getting fire resistance, because fire resistance can save your life in hell. Maybe I can find a different one. I want to avoid the soul sand areas as best as I can. Well, since that guy's dead and he was alone, there is technically nobody else. So we should mine all the gold we can while there's no piglins. But the Nether is a fair, balanced area in UHC, because fire is deadly. Any damage over time effects are deadly, and it's everywhere in the Nether. We chill? Alright, pal, here, take a gold ingot. Oh, you can't get to it? Here, take this one then. Now I'll just throw these out. Now, it probably isn't that worth it, because the things he's probably going to give me are mostly junk items. But, oh boy, gravel. Yep, junk. But I needed to try for the chance of getting a fire resistance potion, because a fire resistance potion can and will save your life in the Nether. It's a pretty easy potion to craft normally, and it trivializes the fire-based attacks of two of the... It's not as useful as it used to be, because one of the biggest threats used to just be blazes. But blazes are not the only threat. Also, they added regular skeletons to nether fortresses, which is really annoying. Because wither skeletons have a severe weakness of being 2.5 blocks tall. So by simply building blocks at their head level, or well, at that third block where it's not actually blocking the player, it still blocks the wither skeletons. This rule does not apply to the regular skeletons, because they're regular skeletons. Mojang must have understood that regular skeletons are extremely deadly, so they just left them everywhere. Behind me, eh? I welcome your challenge. prioritizing defense is always good. We do need to kill him in order to stop his assault. There's another one over there. And I need to make sure I don't run out of arrows. They're my main offense against a lot of creatures. There is a gas tier. So if we get to potions, one gas tier is worth full HP. You put redstone on a regen potion, and it's full HP. Now, it's not a guaranteed drop, so you need to be cautious about, you know, just wasting them. Plus, I still need to get 2 potions. Once I get to potions, things like instant health exist, and instant health potions are obviously very good because in the middle of combat I can drink them to gain HP. Splash potions if I need to. I'm not going to try for return to sender. Oh, is he stuck in the lava? Come on, you can get out of there, buddy. There you go. A lot of ghasts. Also, each gas tier isn't worth just 1 full HP, it's worth 3 full HPs because you can brew 3 potions at the same time. Though I need enough for brewing stands. Well, it's possible as I jump to gas tier and now just fell into the lava, but gas will also stop firing when line of sight is broken. I'm pincered by them. 22 arrows remain. Now, a fun fact actually about gas. And this is, well, I learned it because of gas, but it's a fun fact in general about the Minecraft loot table. So, if you're farming for, I'm not sure whether I took fall damage or whether I got hit by, here's the XP, but no drop, unfortunate. If you want to increase your odds of getting gas tiers, you can shoot your bow, then switch to a looting sword. And if you're holding the looting sword, when the bow shot connects, it will actually count for the looting effect to trigger. And I'm pretty sure that just works on any mob with any ranged attack, but it's still just kind of cool that it works like that. I can't really progress forward because it's a dangerous biome. And I need to make a decision. Going back up there didn't help. It led to a dead end in the soul sand area. Going this way leads to the soul sand area as well. All in all, the Crimson Forest is the most preferable adjacent. Obviously, the Basalt Delta is probably the... I mean, it's not fun to traverse at all. The Nether Wastes are obviously the best. Then probably the Enderman Forest, because, I mean, while looking at Enderman by accident can be lethal, anything in the Crimson Forest, if I turn the wrong corner and get hit by a hog, in fact, I'm going to need another apple before I venture into this forest, because those hogs are deadly. I want to move fast while we have the golden apple, because there's 2 extra absorption hearts. We'll make it so that if I make any mistakes, like take a little dip and take some fall damage, or run into a hog, that I do reduce that mistake's impact. Also, moving quick isn't necessarily a bad thing as long as you can understand what's happening around you. If I understand that there are certain things, you know, pits in the ground as I move around, where are the fires? A tree like this could be at the ground level like it is, or it could be higher up. Ah, an Enderman Forest. Much nicer. Much brighter. Wow. Keep our eyes low. Make our way through it. Getting an Ender Pearl wouldn't be terrible. While the Ender Pearl recoil damage is bad, taking the Ender Pearl recoil damage instead of, you know, becoming one with the lava will oftentimes be preferable. Now, I've seen some tricks using boats done by speedrunners, so I think I might actually give that a go. Because an Ender Pearl would be very nice. Not for traversing, because, well, we need our HP. But for surviving. Keeping it, in case I do take a dip into like a 1-block hole into the lava, I can throw it quickly to hopefully avoid the lava. Is that a bastion? Nerf bastion? I'm sorry. Well, that's definitely a bastion, which possesses some of the most dangerous mobs in the game, but it possesses loot and gold. And I believe there's a variant that can have netherwart. And if I can get netherwart, I can't necessarily brew potions immediately, but that means I can afford to find a shittier, what's it called? Fortress. Now, we do want to be careful about this. We still don't want to look at Enderman. Also, I have no clue how to... This music is beautiful. It's like watching Our Planet. I don't know how this thing is struck. This is massive. Just gonna break a hole in and see what's going on. I know that the axe-wielding ones are terrifying. Like, it'll probably kill me in one hit. Terrifying. Don't drop too many of these blocks. We're going to need some, I imagine. But I think the regular goons... I think the gold axe-wielding ones will attack me on sight. Enforcers or whatever they're called. The others will only attack me if I go for chests and gold, which is what I'm after, so they will attack me eventually, but that means I can scout without them being a problem. My arrow count's down to 19, and I do want to save some in case of ghasts and or blazes, but so I won't take these guys out from a distance now. That looks like a side where chest can be. This thing looks big, which means it's probably one of the... I've heard the word treasure bastion thrown around. I'm going to just assume this is one of those. Oh yeah, it is. You can tell because that bottom is what I would refer to as treasure. I saw gold blocks down there. I believe from those you can get things like gold armor. Gold armor. Yeah, diamond armor. Better than gold. But without fire resistance, the lava around it's bad. I believe those also have magma cube spawners. Whoa. Oh, there's gold in this. This is a big-ass bastion. I do need to be careful because I don't know how to deal with the enemies properly in this thing. I don't know if they'll drop down. I don't know where they are. I know where that guy is. He's standing right up there. You don't want to give the enemy the chance to attack you. So the goal is, at the moment, I'm going to try to pick off as many enemies as I can with a sword. So I'm going to try to dig through these walls. Like a little mole man. And I'm going to stab them. I believe this mob isn't actually fire resistant. I wonder if hitting these enforcers causes regulars to become... How many hits do you take? That is a concerning amount of stabs you can take. Yeah, I cannot tussle with those boys. But getting to that gold would be a huge asset to me. Wonder what the aggro region that is. Not up there. I don't see any other guys like this, so we'll grab this gold block too. 2 gold blocks, as we know, means I'm going to do that so they can't come and get us. 2 gold blocks means 2 more golden apples. I'm just going to craft those immediately because something tells me we are in a precarious enough situation to where it might be warranted. 3 golden apples to my name. I should not be doing this. Well, this building's tall. Building is tall and probably plentiful with loot if I knew where to look. A systematic breach and clear should prove me well. This is only a single block. Go to one that's multiple. Golden Axe boy means that's definitely an enforcer up there on the other part. So if I expose myself, he might, if he aggroes, he might run around and just drop down on me. I think that I got the gold from this bridge. These lava moats underneath. I need to go to lower levels. If I want the treasure, I need to go to those lower levels. I don't know the safest way down. Slow and steady wins the race, as they say, but slow can be boring. I'm worried about melee enemies at the moment. So I don't need to concern myself with leaving holes in the walls. Only holes that can lead a melee attacker to me. I could dig myself into the wall right here real quick and maybe get an ender pearl. This is a bad idea. What's the reach on an enderman? I mean, it's not too bad an idea. We're doing just fine for the moment. Though now I need him to return. Well, I gotta wait for him to return. He's too dangerous to be left alive. Did I see a golden apple and 7? No, he's gonna do like 5 hearts. It isn't worth it. Camouflage the engine. He just waited for me to step outside for a split second. And I knew he would too. Well, at least he dropped a pearl for me. This pearl could save my life. Could also very well be my death, so. Trade. I didn't have to sacrifice my HP. I got greedy. I got bored. I decided to make moves. They're not like this opening. There's probably more enforcers than what I've witnessed. I don't know how speedrunners do all of this stuff. Like, the speedrunners are like the most mastered people of this game that I know. Oh, and I'm now activating spawners. That's nice. So I'm glad I did that. There's also an enforcer on that island. You're a regular piglin. Though I will have to get rid of you eventually, right? Because I need to get rid of that spawner before it becomes too big a deal. down a bit. And I bet you anything there's another one somewhere. Also got to be careful about digging over to a spawner like this, because if something spawns on the bridge you're building to it, then it gets a free hit. Break that. Those mobs can also jump high, so we don't want to get directly under them, or directly above them. Alright. I mean, that much gold is healing for weeks. With that much gold, I'll have an apple deficiency, not a gold deficiency. But I'm going to need to take this slow and carefully. So I'm going to take a minute to compose myself, get some water. Block myself in right here. And prepare myself mentally for getting in there. I'm going to end this episode here, knowing full well there's a bastion right there. Gold everywhere. And it's mine for the taking, just like Cortez. But I gotta do what it takes to get down there. And you know what? I can. 19 arrows is a big problem. I hope there's chests with arrows somewhere about. I'll figure it all out next time. So stay tuned to figure out how I get myself rich. Rich out of my wildest dreams. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Last time we discovered the bastion. This time we lived the enduring legacy of Cortez by taking the gold from the natives and making it mine. You a regular civilian? I mean, at some point even the regular civilians have to die, right? Because... is there another spawner? Another spawner would actually be devastating. Yeah, because the regular natives are going to get mad at me. You're a big man. You look like a free kill. Into the lava. 1 arrow for 1 enforcer is a great rate. Doubt I can guarantee that again. Problem is, if I do aggro the regular piglins, and any of them are ranged, it's just going to become a shooting gallery. Don't believe you can get to me. But I believe this actually does anger regular. It does. I'm dead. Well, I didn't see that guy behind me. And the guy above me wasn't getting angry, and the guy to my right wasn't getting angry. So you know, thought I could take him. Probably would have been sick if I could have pulled that off. It will. Probably just going to tag this on to the end of the previous episode, but let's not lollygag. I'm just going to end this one here. I mean, I didn't play it too smart. Didn't play it too well. Next time I think everything will go a little bit smoother. Big guy's gone. This is truly the biggest loss, though, is Big Guy. So I'll have to make sure I find another one. But, you know, I can do better.